must confess, I consider curtains of little import, especially to a homeowner who has blinds and baffles. Hi everyone, if you're thinking of building and renovating, then this is the place to be. I am Nikki and tonight we're doing all things interior sunshades. Blinds, curtains, panels and films are what we're going to be talking about tonight. No, not that type of film. If you want to go all out and do exterior sunshading as well as interior sunshading and just pimp out your entire house, then check out last month's video so you don't get baffled by baffles. You know, there are some people who seem to take it for granted that they have the monopoly on the best blinds in town. Blinds can be vertical, horizontal, Venetian, Roman, honeycomb, manual or electric. But they are typically retracted or folded up and away when not in use. They are usually really effective at blocking sunlight and reducing heat gain. While some can be pretty expensive, they are usually quite cost effective and easy to install. There are a wide range of styles, materials and colours to suit every decor imaginable. In some circumstances they can be better than curtains in terms of their insulation properties, especially if you go with a well-fitted honeycomb or block-out blind. They can also be more durable than some curtains and are easy to adjust based on the weather and time of day, and in some circumstances can be connected to a smart building management system if they are electric. Just beware with some models that cords and young children don't mix, which is why a lot of people don't use them anymore. There are some regulations that are coming out, especially in rentals, that address this. If you are interested, I have provided the link to the Queensland Government requirements down below. But effectively, if you have a corded internal window covering, then it must be installed in a way that ensures a loose cord cannot form a loop that is 220 mil or longer at or less than 1.6 meters above the floor level. Another problem with blinds is they might require frequent cleaning depending on their appearance, and they usually can't be put in the washing machine. And usually the cheaper versions don't block out as much sun as the more expensive ones. And in some applications, they can add too much depth to the walls. So you might not have enough room within the window frame to conceal the housing. But if you have the right type of window frames, blinds can be practical and affordable option for minimizing heat gain without sacrificing too much style. Now we should all know by now what curtains are, but I'm going to tell you anyway. They're fabric panels that can be drawn or pulled to cover windows. They are usually incredibly cost effective, easy to DIY, ridiculous amounts of patterns and colours and fabrics. Depending on which type of fabric you choose, you can put them in the washing machine. You can also take them with you if you move house. So traditionally, if you look at older homes, like Federation style homes especially, you'll see window dressings that are draping on the ground, and that was usually because they wanted to make sure that if they moved somewhere else and they had taller ceilings or taller windows, they could still cover them. Fun fact. Curtains are a really great way to change the style of a room without painting, and they are easy to adjust to the weather or the time of day. Unfortunately, you are limited to just fabric materials, which means that their durability is typically less than blinds or panels, and they usually collect a lot more dust than other options. So if you've got asthma or allergies, just beware. You know, some people take a like for granted. I, on the other hand, do not. If you are enjoying this content and wish to see more, please click. We appreciate your assistance. Now, panels are kind of a blind, but kind of a curtain. They're a little bit of both, but neither. They are usually tall vertical panels that slide across large windows or door openings. It can be made from different types of materials other than fabric, like wood or PVC. And they can also provide more privacy and sound insulation. Unfortunately, they tend to be more on the expensive side, depending on what material you use, but it's usually because they are custom made. They also have more limited flexibility in terms of adjusting light levels compared to blinds or curtains. It's usually all or nothing. But if I do say so myself, they are pretty sleek and modern. And again, depending on what type you go with, you can minimize quite a reasonable amount of heat gain while enhancing the privacy of a room. But I have to say, it's not likely to be as much as if you had a blockout blind or a really thick, heavy curtain, simply because they are in broken up panels. When I say films or coverings, what I mean is thin sheets of material that are attached directly to the interior side of the window. One of the great things about films overall is that they offer effective solar heat reduction while allowing natural light to filter through. They are usually much more inexpensive than whole new windows and easy to install, both during a new build and after. They can also provide some good UV protection to furniture and floors. But in some cases, they can affect visibility through the window, especially at night. And if you go for a really expensive film, I would get a professional install for optimum results. But overall, films are a really good practical and cost-effective option for reducing heat gain into your home, which can enhance your comfort in a room and lower the cost of your air conditioning. When you are choosing a film for your windows, please look at the solar heat gain coefficient and the U values that will be provided to your specific windows. Now I know this is very, very technical, but it's the only way that you can really compare apples and oranges. If you want to know what all of that means, check out the link below in the description of the video that I did talking about windows and what these values mean and what you need to choose for your specific climate zone. Regardless of which of these options that you go with, I will say as a general rule of thumb, make sure you can still access the mechanisms and operate or maintain the windows or doors. For example, if you have a louver or a sliding window, you won't be able to lower your blind over the mechanism without hitting the louver. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you found that helpful. Next month's video is all about getting floored. And by that I mean flooring. So yes, that was a parent joke right there. Anyway, I am Nikki, CEO and founder of Totally Wicked Group. I hope you have a totally wicked evening.